Hello, all. Welcome to the lecture series on effective technical communication. And we have been looking at the fourth unit of this particular series, and we have completed user manual. And in this session, we will be looking at product manual. Okay. So, product manual, unlike user manual, which is specifically dedicated and specifically devoted to the users, product manual is something which is very different. Product manual contains information solely about the product itself and nothing else. You do not get, you do not get information about its operation. You do not get information its about how to use it. You do not get information on you do not get information on anything which would be you know which is going to help the users to navigate through the product. But of course, it is also user oriented. Product manual is also user oriented. Why? Because it actually gives you information about the product, about the physical and the chemical properties of the product, about its terms and conditions, and all of these things you get in a product manual. So product manual is relatively shorter than your user manual, and it is a document which gives a detailed and in-depth description of the product. The physical, even the chemical features of the product are listed, as I told you and talked about. And of course, its usability and its longevity are guaranteed, and the guarantee of its usability and longevity are given through the chemical and the physical properties of the product that is mentioned, and about the physical features of the product that is mentioned. So that is how the longevity is guaranteed. Okay. And like all other manuals, they have certain sections describing the product in uh yeah, yeah. And like you know all other manuals, it has got certain sections describing the products in all its aspects. Okay. So basically, the features of the product, they are segmented. Okay. Uh like every manual which has got a particular section, a particular format, product manual is also segmented and formatted in that way. Okay. Now, what is the first section that you should be including in a product manual? The first section is the model type and number. So in this section, you will be talking about the model type and the number of the product. Now, this section is important. Why? Because a company might produce several different products in, one particular day. Not in one particular day, but it might, it might release several different products, and it might also release the same product with different features and upgradations. Take for instance your mobile phone. Now, the leading company producing mobile phones these days is Samsung, right? Now, Samsung has got several phones or several kinds of phones of the J series, S series, A series, like that, right? Now, of course, if you are buying a product of Samsung, or if you are buying a phone from Samsung from the A series, now there are several phones belonging to A series, several products belonging to A series, but not all of them are the same. So, of course, in that way, the model of the product as well as the number of the product has to be mentioned for your own specification, so that when you go to a particular service center of Samsung, whenever your phone turns defective, you can actually give them accurate information about the product and about the number and the product model, right? So that is why your model type and number are extremely important. Now, the next section is the number of amendments. Now, this section talks about the number of amendments or screening tests that a product goes through before it is approved and released in the market. Okay. So, basically, it's like a test run, it is like a test drive that is taken. So, after the product is made ready for use, it is basically tested. And if certain faults are found with it, it is basically, amended and then tested again. And then if again faults are found with it, it is again tested, amended, and tested. So in this way, you go through several different amendments and ratifications before you actually place the product out there for public and you release it in the market for public consumption, right? Then comes sample guidelines. So this includes a description of the raw materials constituting the product. So its size, how it has been tested, and the inspection done on it after the tests. Okay, so these are the things that you should be including in the sampling guideline section. Okay. Now the next section is your fourth section, which is the number of hours or the number of times it can work for in a day. So again, let us take the example of the Samsung mobile phone itself. So when you are buying a mobile phone, not just Samsung, but if you are buying a mobile phone from a particular company, so the product manual will tell you that for how long the battery of the phone will be lasting before you have to charge it again, right? So what is the longevity of the battery for the day, right? Before, so how long can a phone function before its charge finally dies and you have to charge it again? Okay, so this is the thing. So number of hours it can work for in the day. Okay, before its charge dies. Then you have to talk about the fifth section, which is the scope of the license. So this section basically talks about the policies of the product and certain terms and conditions which its consumer has to keep in mind while using the product, failing which there might be legal consequences. Okay, so basically, product manual is nothing but the first section of the user manual itself. So the very first section of the user manual before you get into the actual operation of the product. So the very first section which contains information solely about the product and nothing else is your product manual. Okay. So product manual is chiefly devoted to information related strictly about the product and not about anything else, not about its operation, but about its physical and static features and what all are there. Okay, so that is all about it, and also the terms and conditions. So that is all about it. With this, we come to the end of product manual. In the next lecture session, we will take up operations manual. Thank you for listening.